Druski, my son, I see you. Don't look around like I'm hiding behind a camera crew. I've been watching since long before you thought about cracking your first joke. I saw you when you were just a kid in Georgia, pulling faces, making the neighborhood laugh, not even knowing yet that you'd grow into this big presence who can walk into a room and make the whole place tilt with laughter. And I'm proud of the gift you've been given. Laughter is holy, Druski. Don't ever forget that. Proverbs 17:22 says, "A merry heart doeth good like a medicine." But right now, I gotta tell you, some of your medicine has been tasting more like cough syrup mixed with soda. Strong, funny, sure, but maybe too bitter for the soul sometimes. You've been blessed with influence, Druski. And influence is like bread in the wilderness. You can feed the crowd or you can waste it on crumbs. The people love you because you're real. You don't pretend to be perfect. But let me ask you, are you using that realness to lift them up? Or are you sometimes just dragging the joke into a ditch for shock value? I saw that NASCAR skit. Oh yes, I did. And listen, I've been around for centuries. I've seen satire. I've seen clowns. I've even seen prophets perform street theater. But when you put on that white-face makeup, mullet wig, started spitting cigarettes and doing the most, you crossed from comedy into chaos. Half the people were laughing. Half were ready to cancel you faster than Peter denied me 3 times before the rooster crowed. You think I didn't notice that split? I noticed. Now hear me. Humor doesn't have to be clean all the time. I know my people like edgy jokes. But you don't want to be remembered as the guy who just shocks. You want to be remembered as the guy who brought healing through laughter, who could roast the world and still make it feel hugged afterward. Right now, sometimes you roast and the world feels like you just threw hot grease. And son, I need you to flip that script. Look at how you shine when you lean into joy. That MLB celebrity softball game. You walked in saying you hadn't played since the 5th grade, but the way you hyped yourself up, the way you made the whole stadium laugh with your confidence, man, that was pure gold. That's you in your lane. You didn't need a skit that offended half the internet. You just needed to be Druski, goofy, fearless, bringing smiles to people who showed up to see celebrities act human. That's the magic you carry. Do more of that. You know, people think I never laughed. They paint me all serious in stained glass windows, but I created joy, Druski. I invented humor. Donkeys talked in my word. Prophets ran away from fish. I walked on water and Peter panicked like he just saw a ghost. I love a good laugh, but I also know when a laugh leaves people empty. Your NASCAR bit, that was empty calories. Funny in the moment, but when the smoke cleared, a lot of folks felt burned. Ask yourself, do you want to be the comedian who just shocks for a clip, or the comedian who makes history by making people feel good in their bones? And here's the truth. You don't need gimmicks. Druski, you are the gimmick. You've got timing, presence, that cheat code charisma people keep writing about. I read that Vulture piece calling you a cultural cheat code, and they're not wrong. You can walk into a Drake video, a Jack Harlow bit, a random commercial, and you turn it into a moment people remember. That's power. That's not normal. That's a gift from above. Don't waste that on stunts. Steward it like gold. Remember the parable of the talents. One servant buried his gift, the others multiplied theirs. I gave you talent, Druski. Now don't bury it in controversy. Multiply it in love. Think about what happens when you shift just a little. You can still be edgy, still be wild, but now your jokes build instead of break. Imagine you dropping a skit that doesn't just mock a stereotype, but flips it into wisdom. Imagine you being the comedian who clowns culture, but leaves people walking away saying, "Dang, I feel better about life right now." That's kingdom comedy, my son. Now, let's talk about your lifestyle. You've been blessed with fame, with rooms full of stars who call you in just to make the vibe better. That's not small, but don't let the lights blind you. Every time you're on stage, every camera on you, that's a pulpit, whether you know it or not. People are listening like it's a sermon. The question is, are you preaching chaos, or are you preaching life? Your jokes are your sermons, and son, you've been halfway preaching both. Let's check your motives. When you wake up, is your goal to heal, or just to trend? Because trending dies fast. Healing lasts. Ask anybody who laughed with Richard Pryor, Bernie Mac, Robin Williams. Those laughs weren't just jokes. They were medicine. You got the same calling. Be medicine, not poison. And don't think I don't notice your hustle. You've been everywhere, from Instagram skits to big commercials, to selling out shows. You've carried yourself like a king of comedy already. But kings are remembered not just for their jokes, but for their justice. Proverbs 29:4 says, "By justice a king gives a country stability." Druski, I also want to remind you about humility. You've built a character that's larger than life. Big Druski, mister. Could have been Records CEO, the one everybody calls when they need energy. But remember, I exalt the humble. The more you bow low, the higher I'll lift you. When you clown too heavy, sometimes it looks like pride. But when you roast with humility, when you make fun of yourself before others, when you let the people laugh with you instead of at somebody else, that's when the spirit flows through your comedy. That's when you really shine. And let me throw in some motivation for you, because I know you love a good hype talk. You've already proven you can make anybody laugh. That's the easy part for you. The next level is making anybody better. You know how athletes talk about legacy? Comedy has a legacy too. You're not just here to go viral. You're here to shift culture. And culture needs light, not just noise. You've got enough light in you to brighten up the darkest corners of social media. Don't dim that with cheap laughs. You want funny? Here's funny. I literally walked out of a tomb. That's the ultimate mic drop. Nobody topped that one yet. But even I knew the joke wasn't the point. The point was life. Your punchline's got a point to life too. Even when you roast, even when you parody, leave people alive on the inside, not drained. Druski. Now we arrive at the summit, the place where all the lessons come together. You've got the talent, the energy, the creativity, the influence. But legacy? Legacy is the culmination of choices, intentions, and heart. And son, I see a man capable of leaving a mark far bigger than the internet scroll. Let's start with vision. You've built your brand through comedy, social media, collaborations, and live events. But vision isn't just about what you do now. It's about what you leave behind. Imagine a world where every skit, every video, every punchline you create isn't just viral. It's timeless. People remember it not just because they laughed, but because they felt something real, something alive. That's the power you wield, Druski. That's kingdom comedy in action. And here's a truth. Every choice you make matters. Each skit, each tweet, each cameo, it's a footprint. Matthew 7:24-25 says, "Therefore everyone who hears these words of mine and puts them into practice is like a wise man who built his house on the rock." Build on rock, not sand. Chaos without purpose? Sand. Comedy with heart, humility, and intention? Rock. That's the Druski I see. A man building a lasting foundation through laughter. Let's talk about influence again. Millions of eyes are on you. They watch, they follow, they emulate. That's responsibility, son. Influence is more than fame, it's stewardship. Proverbs 16:3 says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." Commit your creativity, your humor, your choices to goodness. Let purpose guide your punchlines. When your intent is positive, the audience feels it. They respond differently. They laugh, yes, but they also grow. That's immeasurable impact. Now, Druski, I want to remind you of resilience. You faced criticism, mixed reactions, even controversy. That's part of life, and it's part of comedy. But resilience is how you respond. Don't crumble. Don't lash out. Don't chase validation from chaos. Instead, learn, adapt, and elevate. Let every critique be fuel for growth. Let every misstep be a lesson in wisdom. That's how legends endure. Here's another secret. Your wild, unpredictable energy. That's a gift. Don't tame it completely, but channel it. Make it constructive. Make it memorable. Make it transformative. People don't just follow predictability. They follow authenticity guided by purpose. You can be hilarious, chaotic, edgy, but let the chaos have meaning. Let the edge lift. Let the humor heal. That's how your influence multiplies exponentially. And humor, Druski. Oh, never forget the sacred power of laughter. Laughter heals, connects, unites, and inspires. You've seen it yourself. One skit can brighten someone's day, shift their perspective, or even change their mood completely. That's not accidental. That's divine. You have the ability to wield it with skill, heart, and wisdom. Use it. Use it generously. Use it intentionally. Now, long-term guidance. Don't settle for trends alone. Build projects that outlast the hype. Collaborations, shows, content, even mentorship. Teach others to use humor wisely. Share your experience. Multiply your impact. That's how you turn influence into legacy. That's how Druski becomes more than a moment. He becomes an institution. And yes, humility again. I can't stress this enough. Fame is fleeting. Ego is fragile. But humility lasts. Remind yourself daily that your gifts are not just for you. They're for the world. Treat people with respect. Lift them with your energy. And walk every path with integrity. That's what makes laughter sacred, influence meaningful, and legacy eternal. Finally, Druski, here's the motivational truth. You're capable of greatness beyond the screen. You can make people laugh, think, feel, and grow. You can transform chaos into joy, mistakes into lessons, trends into timeless art. And through it all, remember, I'm watching, guiding, laughing with you, nudging you toward the best version of yourself. Kingdom Comedy isn't just a title, it's a mission. And you, son, are made for it. So go ahead, Druski. Keep creating, keep laughing, keep pushing limits. But now do it with intention, with heart, with wisdom. Make every punchline count. Make every skit matter. Make every laugh resonate. That's your gift. That's your calling. That's your legacy. And when you do that, the world doesn't just remember Druski the comedian. They remember Druski the healer of hearts, the creator of joy, the king of kingdom comedy. And that, my boy, is where you truly shine.